Hello, friends. My screen like froze for a second, so I was like, "Oh no, what do I do?" So sorry about that glitchy intro. And so happy to have our guest of the week, Maxim, owner of Crowd Games. If you get a chance, I'm trying to unmute you, Maxim. I'm sorry, for some reason it's not letting me. So yeah, today we're going to talk about deliverability with Ali, of course. And we'll talk about where we're at with our email newsletter status with CityClips. And Maxim will tell us a little bit about his story and why he started his company and how things are going. And Maxim, if you can hear me, feel free to still hop back on. Okay, we'll get him.
Okay.
Yeah. So how are you doing, Ali?
All good, all good. I was just looking at the Maxim's background. It's actually very interesting. I love a couple of things. I really want to learn about board games world from his point of view, from the manufacturer, designer point of view. They started recently, but apparently they've made some big milestones.
Yes, you can ask him all about it. And it's funny because I mean we can mention it. There he goes. Yay, we got you. You're back. No worries.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Awesome. Yeah, no, Maxim was telling me earlier that he got to meet David Herringer with InfinityCon, and it's because David heard about us mentioning Maxim, and then so it was nice that they got to meet up and connect. And
Nice.
yeah, so you guys got to talk about InfinityCon and the world of games.
Oh yeah. I was baffled by his story. You know how somebody from a relatively small town, I suppose he lived in Lake City or near Lake City with
Yeah.
15,000 people, and he just created this wonderful thing with just several thousand people. It's great.
Yes. I'm planning on being there, and then Gainesville has a new facility that's even bigger, and so he's expanding there too. So he's now not just running it here in Tallahassee, but even Gainesville.
Yeah, I'm also thinking that we'll find a way for me and my company to participate at InfinityCon. I actually was I already took part in it when it started, I think in 18 or 19, but I was just testing how it is and just got a little booth, and I was there by myself, one person, and
So Ali, and feel free to chime in, but I was asking Maxim earlier too, is so you started your business pretty much, and you're a remote first business. You have teams all over the world, team members, right?
Yes.
And you're one solely representing in the US. And so kind of tell us a little bit about why you started and how you got started.
Well, it all started was when I was 6 years old. I was in school, and I like to draw things in my notepad instead of doing classes. I drew stuff all the time, and all my teachers gave me a really hard time saying, Maxim, stop it. You're start listening to what we say. And I said, okay. And then I continued drawing. And that continued for the next 12 years. So eventually I started making games, and I liked it. I didn't know anything about it, but and my dream was that someday I will publish one of these games and become a publisher. And so basically I just followed my interest, and one day when I made some money in the real world, I decided to invest it into making a game, and everything was absolutely wrong. I made all the mistakes that you could make, but so, and then that was after I finished law school. I went to FSU Law.
So when you're talking about the game that you made all of the mistakes in, this is actually the first game. So this is when you launched in 2020, or is this before?
No. This was in 2002.
Ooh,
this was 21 years ago.
So from the first trial to the first success, if you think about 2020 as the first commercial success, at least
no. It's my team is international. I'm originally from Moscow, Russia, and I've immigrated to the US in 2015,
Okay.
coming to Tallahassee. But before that, from 2002 to 2015, I've had a board games publishing company, which was very successful. It's right now is a big company, works all over the world, But I've sold my shares and I've started a similar business, which is this one, crowd games, and now I've started publishing games here for the U.S. market.
Ah, very interesting. Okay. So you carry a lot of experience. Like this is very interesting. Like you've taken it from a passion when you were really young
Yeah.
to actually working in it. And did you start the previous company, the one that you sold your shares in?
Yes.
Were you a
Yes.
founder over there? Okay,
Yes.
nice.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
By now I cannot imagine working for another person. I'm full time business. That's it.
Very nice.
Which is like a wolf. You kill what you eat. You eat what you kill.
Yeah.
It must be fun.
So,
Like you're saying that sorry, my camera's like, of course. You assemble all the pieces. You have team members focusing on different things. Like you have a video team, you have animators, you have all different kinds of styles that you do for all your different games. Do you
Yes.
concept the idea first? Like there's gotta be a lot of math in it, right?
Right. Well, let's see. I should say that I like to do it, but I'm not very good at it. So concepting the ideas is just this year. Well, not this one. Last year, 2023, I published a game that I designed. It's called Portals. I think it's on the website. And it's just a game. Some people like it. Some people think it's too complicated for their liking. But I realized that it's like Henry Ford used to say. Ford used to say that, hey, I'm not the best engineer. I'm not the best, but I can get the best people to do, to create my car, and that's why it works. So, yeah, that's Portals. That's the game I designed actually. So I'm like the point of assembly where all the talented people, I bring them together and we all as a team create a game and put it out to the market in the hope that somebody will enjoy it.
I want to ask you something about the board game market in general. Like with today's world, everyone is playing. Like all of the kids are playing more and more games on their iPads. They're spending more times on just generally on phones, iPads, virtually watching Netflix, watching Disney. And probably this has competed a lot. This has substituted a lot of the time that we used to spend as families on board games. How do you see this? Like, is this a challenge? Like, especially that you have an experience over decades when it comes to this. How do you see this as a challenge? And within that, how did you find success despite all
Well,
of this?
first thing I should say is that this was always a challenge, not just recently, but even in 2002, there were, computer games, and a lot of kids enjoyed playing computer games. I played myself a lot, from like mid 90s until, 2000 something. I played a lot of games, but there are kids and parents who focus on different things, not on iPads, not on computers, and that is actually a draw for board games, is that they take away from the digital world and they pull people away from computers, from screens, and they allow people to interact, because when you sit down at a table with your friends or your family or somebody, you interact, you talk to each other, and that's a part of this community thing that a lot of people still enjoy. I think, probably, well, and even if you look at mass culture like Stranger Things, you've seen that show, right?
Yeah, it's
Stranger
a big
Things.
hit. I mean,
Uh,
I didn't get into it. My kids did.
but the show begins that the kids are playing D&D. They're sitting in their basement playing D&D. There's like, I mean, and it is right now, and it always will continue to be a part of, what people are looking for, what people like. And I think that it's not going anywhere. There will always be people. It's a niche market. It's not
Yeah.
mass market, but it's a niche market that will always have its following. And I think board gamers, older people who play board games, they teach their kids to do the same. And I think kids would appreciate when their parents do it with them, because that's, family is family still, no matter what you say, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually, there are some favorite board games and games that our family like have favorites with, like, for example, Midnight Werewolf. I think
Mm-hmm.
you might have seen that. So like it's almost like publishing a book, and you are in the world of games. So it's like you have to create and build and make them, and then maybe there's that one hit, that small percentage that'll just kind of blow up. And
Oh
so
yeah, yeah.
with the niche market of families, and then also the dynamic of helping people get together, like I think there's something to that. But you're also experimenting with games, also being a board game and digital, right? Isn't there one that you said that you designed that has some video component to it?
Not really. I
Okay.
mainly we're just marketing through video. We have our own video production studio, and so we put out video clips about the games, but they're not like augmented reality or anything like that. They're just board games. But I think there are now games that are coming out that you can basically try to connect it with your phone or an app, and well, there's a market for that. There's some people who like it, but I think it's going to grow slowly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a nice segue, actually. So I looked at, since we're talking about the videos about or the trailers about your games, I looked at the two Kickstarter campaigns that you guys have launched, and it
Uh-huh.
has impressive results. Like the one about the City of the Great Machine, you guys wanted $23,000 and you've achieved $164,000.
Hmm.
The second one, you wanted $15,000 for the game Evolution New World, and you got $154,000. What you guys were these the first question? Were these the only two campaigns you guys have run on Kickstarters, and you guys are that good and you got it from the beginning, or did you have other campaigns that weren't as successful and then there was a learning curve?
The first campaign that I've ran on Kickstarter is 2012, I think. It's under a different account, but I started early, and it's definitely a learning curve. So far, under this account, we've run 5 campaigns, and just now we're starting to. I mean, they were all right, like the ones you mentioned, the City of the Great Machine and couple evolution campaigns. They're 3,000 backers. But right now we're planning to launch a new game called En Route. It's you see it on the website on the first page, and I think that as we progress, as we grow, with each campaign, we'll learn more and more about how we should present ourselves. And plus, America is a land of brands, so it's a matter of building your brand. Once you build it, you have a following, you can, start assuming that you offer a good product. This product is in demand, then your brand will be successful. So it's a combination of things. It's not I mean, there's a misconception that you can just go on Kickstarter, put it out there and get hundreds of backers. That's not always correct.
Yeah. So would you say that you have a loyal following on social media, and have you tried email?
Well, we do have an email list. We don't have a lot of people there yet. Maybe a couple thousand followers. I think we have maybe 5,000 followers on Instagram. But I mean, Instagram is strange. It's like and Instagram and Facebook. I mean, the point of these social media of Meta is to make money for Meta, and so it's like kind of pay to play. You pay, people see your stuff. You don't pay, they don't. I mean, even if you have 100,000 followers, you post something and you get 100 likes. Oh wow, that's like
And it's no guarantee people are gonna see.
Yeah, because the algorithm doesn't show you stuff unless you pay. So anyway.
And that's why. And so like this is why it's good that because to tie in what we were covering today. And Ali, I want to make sure that you help us figure this part out, and it would help Maxim, is deliverability. So one of the newest things that has happened in the email marketing space is that Google and Yahoo has updated something on the back end. Ali might know the technical side, but they wanted to make sure that everybody authenticates their domain and make sure that is done. And if you need help, then there's a way or support for your email service provider, and the platform that you use is, if they're on top of their game, then they will help you with it. Like MailChimp automatically does it. So
we use MailChimp as well, because I think it's the most, it's on top of things, really.
Right. And it's one of the things that is really valuable, and Ali has a lot of experience scaling his list to 60,000 plus of subscribers. So Ali, what would you like to say along the lines of deliverability before we lose you to the next thing?
Yeah. So when it comes, about the updates that has happened just recently on to Gmail and Yahoo, Gmail specifically, because Gmail is probably about 70% of any email list subscribers. So the authentication is not something new. It's not like something that wasn't there and it's happening now. So for us to ensure that we had good deliverability, I think we've had it for like 3 years, ever since we started. Now there is several elements to authentication of your domain, but basically it's a way of telling Gmail, it's a way of confirming to Gmail that this is an actual domain that for a real business that has an address and everything. So whenever you send an email from that specific domain, from that specific address, it will have a higher chance of going there compared to bogus emails or people who are trying to spam using many different domains. So this is just generally the idea. And the way to authenticate your domain has always been there for 3 years. But now what Google is trying to say is basically make sure that you authenticate. Otherwise, we're going to be even more strict, and there's a higher chance of moving your email to junk if you don't do it. Did it make a big difference? We didn't see it.
I'm completely ignorant about it, but does that have to do with the SSL certificates? Because
one element is the SSL certificate, but the SSL certificate is for the website specifically. But when it comes to email, there is other elements. One is called DKIM, one is called SPIF. I think there's a lot of acronyms over there, but it's easy. It's relatively easy. You just go through, like it will not take more than half an hour to do it. And even without technical background, like the steps are there. Basically, copy this. I don't know, the IP address, this number from here, and make sure that it's over there. So basically, you're just linking your domain with whoever you're hosting it with, whether it's Google Domains or somewhere else, making sure that this is applicable with MailChimp and is applicable with Gmail. Once you have all of that connected, then that's it. Your email is authenticated, and there's a way to test it. Like the way the email is sent when you see right next to it, if it says sent by this domain, then basically this. So there is a way to make sure whether it's actually authenticated properly or not. Is the difference big? Yes, the difference will be significant, especially for bigger email lists. If your email list is small, like in the hundreds and the thousands, probably you will not see a big difference. But once your email list grows bigger, this is where actually Gmail really looks into it with a lot of details. And it's very important never to get blacklisted, because once you do get blacklisted by Gmail, it's very difficult to come back from that. Very, very difficult. And there's no way. Good luck having their customer service answer you, because they actually don't. Sometimes it's just easier to rebuild, to buy a new domain and restart everything from scratch, rather than asking them to help you with fixing a problem that happened to your domain. But yeah, deliverability is a huge issue in the world of emails, and it's very important to watch out for.
Yeah, and because you are selling products online, Maxim, there's really a major advantage to, you know, making sure that your marketing strategy is definitely including your email, because it has one of the highest return on investment. It is it's a very cost-effective way of letting people know, hey, we've got a new product. And some people like heavily focus on social media, but email is one of the simplest ways of getting people to buy from you. So even though there's critics saying email is dead, I don't believe it. I still think there's a huge population of those, especially for us in the working world. We will still use email. and it's not, I mean, we have Google. I mean, I don't think they will allow for email to go away. So
let me ask you about this. A lot of younger kids that I know, they don't have email. They use social media as their like communicator thing. So they communicate through social media. Everything is communicated through a messenger.
Like even in
have you encountered that?
I've heard that some of the younger kids don't even use Google. They go search on TikTok, and I know some of my kids do that. But the reality is, actually, everyone on the internet has an email, because they need it at the very least to verify their password. Like they will not. Okay, he didn't like that.
Or he'll come back on. I think his internet timed out. There he is.
Yeah, no, but just to finish the point, there is no way to get to the email. You cannot have a TikTok account without an email. You cannot have a YouTube account without an email. This is one. So definitely everyone has it. Now the question is, do they use it or not? And maybe they will start by not using it. But the truth is, now, as schools are integrating more and more internet, email is becoming part of that. So actually, even for my son, he's starting to use the email now just because he has to, because some of the communication that will come from the teacher or about some of the instructions will go through email. But to be honest, we do see it that most of our audience is between the age of 25 to 35 or 25 to 45, which basically is telling you that these are people who graduated from school and they started to go into the workforce. So it might be still true for now that the people who are getting on the email more or who are using the email more are the ones who are working right now. And this probably will continue, as working people still are dependent on email, regardless of the availability of Slack and other stuff. People are still using the email heavily. But let's see, will this change? Will this change with the new generation? It is possible. With tech, anything can happen, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably going to take a while for it to change. But I mean, I still.
For now, the status quo is definitely email is very important for communication, for business, for news, and even like, especially what you're talking about is about brand loyalty. Like, who are using email to look at the brand? If I love your brand and I want to see the new games by you guys, I will want to be a subscriber in your email list, and I will watch out for any I don't know, discounts that you guys will make. Or if you think about it differently, not only in terms of direct marketing, you can establish yourself as the board game specialist, where actually you can tell people about events when it comes to board games, or what are the top 10 board games that are in the world circulating right now, the highest sales. I will be interested as a board gamer to know this. Like when I'm going into Christmas and I know we're gonna spend 2 weeks, what new board game should I buy for the kids? I don't know. I'm not going to be completely following, but if there was an email list or if there was a list somewhere that says, okay, these are the most popular board games and this is how they are in terms of difficulty, that would be interesting. So I
Yeah.
mean, there are all kinds of ways to use the email right now, but it's basically content driven, and then that content can either directly or indirectly lead to sales and lead to increasing your brand equity overall.
And I know because Maxim, you're pretty much an expert in your field, and I know Ali, you're probably gonna have to hop off soon. But really quick, Maxim had offered we can look at it, but he'd love to do a giveaway of one of his games. So really appreciate
that's
that.
amazing. Make sure
We're
Well,
gonna do the drawing in a few minutes. But yeah, Maxim, like seriously, like you can also provide expertise for those who want to enter into your space, and people might consult with you. Like, how do you design a board game? You know, that's something you can consider.
I can share also my knowledge. Probably how to design your board games. That's going to be a pretty limited audience, but I can more generally maybe if anybody is interested, I could share my experience with Kickstarter. I have moderate success on Kickstarter. I'm not huge, but I have some success on it.
Yeah.
But for
that's actually very important. That's actually tips of success on Kickstarter is like or mistake what to do, what not to do. I think that's really important. I really have I have to hop off, guys, but
Thanks,
Max,
Ali.
very nice to meet you, and definitely we'll talk again.
Good
Bye,
to see
guys.
you later.
Bye.
Yeah, so no, but you'd be surprised, Maxim. Even though it's a small audience, it's almost like another vertical you can make money on the side that people are willing to. There's like a whole trend, you can say, because it's so niche. People might just be curious about the process. People are actually wanting to learn from people like you online, just online courses. You've probably seen it. They'll pay just to consume that content. I'm serious.
Well, I don't know if I'm ready to charge for it because again, but the thing is, what is interesting is Kickstarter allows you to look at who is running projects from different locations. So, for example, if you go onto Kickstarter, you select Tallahassee, and you see that there are people who are running projects from Tallahassee on Kickstarter. There's not very many of them, and
cool.
but yes, there are some people who are doing that.
I
don't know them, but yeah.
And you're one of them, right?
I am. Yeah.
Let me show again because I've been pulling it up once in a while throughout But this is so well done. Just your team did a great job with this website.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So your video studio, they shot this and animated this?
Yeah, it's our video motion designers that are working on these clips. We have a lot of like motion design work and a lot of clips.
This is so cool. So this leads to, if I click on it, it'll go to the Kickstarter. Okay, great.
Yep. Yeah, you can see we have like some 1,600 followers maybe.
Yeah. It says 1577. It's almost there.
Yeah. So
that is so cool. So you got a loyal fan base.
Well, I mean, it's more like just that's what you need. That's one of the secrets that we with Kickstarter. You need to, like half of your work is, well, maybe not half, maybe a third of your work is you need to generate interest in your product before you launch Kickstarter. Don't launch Kickstarter and think that people will just organically come and back your project. No, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, they need to know that you're actually, that's like a promotion in advance and then during and then remind them. And then once, they'll be ready to purchase on the day of, right?
Yes. You need to tell them what you're about to show them and try to do it in advance so that people will, when they come, they kind of have an idea of what it is.
That's awesome. So speaking of giveaways, because I mentioned, and I know we're probably going to conclude soon, just
Uh-huh.
for respect to your time. It so happens. Remember, I told you that you won something.
Yeah.
I need to send
Thank
it to
you.
you.
Thank you.
Let me just feature really quick, like what, these are some of the giveaways. We have Tallahassee themed, stickers. This was designed locally. And some of this stuff I got from Visit Tallahassee. Like there's Lucky Goat stickers. I love it. A lot of people, when I have it on table, they love these. Of course, we include some of our City Clip swag. This was designed by a local shop called Divvy Up. They supplied us those stickers. There's another Lucky Goat one. So we've been collecting. Like this was designed by Pen and Tool, really talented designer here in town. So yeah, like some of it, and like these are really nice socks. Have you ever heard of Dummy? I hope you have.
No.
Yeah, see, Massive, like Dummy needs to meet you. So yeah, that's another co-working hub, and they do incubation for small businesses.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so if you have any particular liking, I will try to send it to you. And then Launch Tally, shout out to them. So yeah, some of them like we've purchased, some of them people gave to us, and then like I collected this book, 100 Things to Do in Tallahassee. And then one big announcement, which we're not going to do the drawing for today, but we are going to do a AirPods for 2 contest. This is a separate contest. Yes. Happy to announce that you have to, we will share this in our emails. So someone could put in their name as long as they show that they've signed up for our email, and then they will offer it to a friend. So we will not only gift it to somebody who wins the drawing, but their friend will also win the drawing. So AirPods for 2. So appropriate for February, right? Valentine's. Anyways, this is our 1 week contest, and we will announce the winner next week. So please spread the word, and we will do a separate drawing for those giveaways that I mentioned here for the Tallahassee theme stickers. Oh yeah, this one. Have you ever heard of House of Cars, Maxim?
No.
Yes, so they're a local business, and they supply to us these awesome collectibles. And they do unique collections. There's a small niche that actually collects, like, see, there's a McLaren right there. McLaren, Pagani, nice. Eric Stein. Eric Stein, I'm sure I'm butchering that one. But anyways, they have like really cool, unique collections that a lot of old men love to collect. Apparently, and they collect it for their kids sometimes too. So anyways, that's part of our giveaway set. So for anyone who wants to participate, please sign up via email, and I'll go ahead and do the drawing. Is that cool with you, Maxim?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do that really quick, and then we will. So here we go. This is for the regular giveaway prize. Rebecca, congratulations. Yay! Nice. So you have won this week's drawing. I will reach out to you. We are emailing you directly and then just letting you know that you won. Thanks again for signing up for cityclips.net. And I would love to just conclude with making sure, Maxim, is there anything that you like to say to someone who's considering starting their own business, and what would you tell your younger self since you've persevered all these years?
Well, I would say probably you got this right.
Wow, that's awesome.
There's nothing better than doing your own thing, in my opinion. I mean, it's not for everybody, but if you have this, this kind of I guess urge, then you should keep trying, and you will find something that you like. Do what you like. Don't do what you don't like.
That's awesome. And sometimes it takes a while for people to figure it out, but I think you were very clear earlier on, what you wanted to do. Yeah, and you were really focused. And so what would you say, okay, I know you've designed so many games. What would you say was your favorite, and what also did the best as far as, its sales and what was the most popular?
Oh, the most popular game that I designed was my first game called Berserk. Berserk trading card game, and it's I think we have published 20 sets, 20 editions and expansions. So
Oh, wow.
it's still kicking. But I sold that project when I immigrated and
Uh-huh.
came to the US. But
Yeah.
right now, my favorite game is Portals, the one that I published last year. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not for everybody. Again, I mean, you have to like it's right there on the right. Yeah, yeah,
This one?
yeah.
Yeah. It looks so detailed, like all the aspects of the game. That's not easy.
Well, yeah, it's. I mean, it. I guess after you've been in this business, you know how to make it. So for a while. But
Wow.
what I wanted to say is that we were discussing actually having a promotional map for our En Route project that's coming to Kickstarter, and
Oh,
having it out because in this game En Route, the one that we're planning to do on launch on February 28th. Nobody
yeah.
knows that yet, but that is the launch date. And in that project, we were discussing whether we were going to make a promotion.
Uh-oh. There you go. We got you. The audio is not working for a second, but let's see if your audio works again when I there you go. Oh, we'll get him back. And so here's the game that he was talking about. It's called En Route. And for those of you who want to know, you got to check out his website, crowdgames.us. And he was just saying, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, well, that was one of the thoughts. So I'm not sure if we will publish it, but maybe it will be one of the stretch goals.
Cool. That is so cool. And so do you have, like, you're on YouTube too. It looks like you're on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So people
Well, a
can
little
watch.
bit.
Yeah. Do you have demos on YouTube on how to play the
Yes,
games?
we're actually we've prepared the video and it's going to be published in the next couple of days. Is how to play a video of this game en route.
Cool.
That's going to go on our YouTube channel.
It makes me think of, I mean, this is me generalizing, but Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride did really well.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah. Do you know a lot of the people in other, that, like, I guess competitors or whatever? Are you familiar with some of the other companies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know them personally. Like
You do?
the game you played, the game you said you played, Werewolf. It's published by Bezier Game. It's Ted Alspatch and his brother, and yeah, I know them.
So that it's that small of a world.
It
Wow.
is. Yeah, at every convention you see everybody pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who has anything to show.
Yeah.
The biggest
Like
one is
one
Gen
blew up.
Con. The
Yeah.
biggest one is Gen Con in Indianapolis. It's last year they had 80,000 people there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. So are you going to be involved with Infinity Con too at some point?
I hope so. It's going to happen in July, and the beginning of July. So I was talking to David about things that we could do, and maybe, because I think we could try to organize some events for, kids and families where they would play a simple board game,
I love
quickly
that.
and like a station, basically, or
Yeah.
something like that, So I'm hoping that I can do it. I'm hoping that my son will be in summer. He's not going to camp, and he's going to help me out.
Okay, you just reminded me how I saw you at the downtown market, and your
Yeah.
son, he was so, like, articulate for his age, and he was selling the table items, like his handmade products too, and the games. And
Yeah.
I think he would really, really, like, he would kill it. Like, there's not many young college students that actually could articulate. like sell things that you
Well,
like.
I'm teaching him what I know a little bit. You know, it's he's better than me definitely. And as far as selling goes, I suck at selling.
Well, and he did not hesitate. He was not shy. He just was like,
No.
"Hey guys, these are awesome products that I made, by the way."
Yeah.
But he was very humble too. It was really impressive. So I hope that he can help you too. And I would
Yeah.
love to.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
hope
no,
I hope he doesn't go to like a summer camp at the time of the InfinityCon because that way he can be in town
oh
and help me
yeah,
out. He wants to. He wants to do it.
yeah, yeah. I think it usually lands on the weekend. So hopefully summer camp doesn't go through that weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Maxim. This is so cool. If there's anything that you guys do, like board game nights or anything, like, I think that's one of the things that I was thinking of putting together, like game night in general and getting some of my friends together.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be happy to participate, organize, whatnot. And I know there's a couple of stores in Tallahassee that focus on board games. One of them is a good friend of mine, James from Great Games Library. I hang out there with my son quite a lot,
Oh,
and we play games there. It's really cool. He's a good man.
what's it called?
It's called the Great Games Library.
Great Games Library. I'm glad you
Yeah,
brought that to my attention
and
because
it's really cool because James is organizing right now a non-profit whereby he would bring actual board games to schools so that kids can play. It's really a cool concept. So maybe you should talk to him and he will tell you about this.
yeah, I'm
I
seeing this
can.
now. Like I never realized this existed.
Oh
And so
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's Tallahassee is strange like that. You never know that certain places exist, but they do. And this what is great is that it's the shows like yours, and you are the networker who brings people together. Because I would have never met David from InfinityCon, and
yeah.
there's James. He's a great guy.
That is awesome. Yeah, I'd be happy to have him on and just understand too. Like, this is cool. He doesn't have. It looks like he does have a website. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. It goes back to Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
So, anyways, no. Well, thank you. I appreciate this, Maxim. And we need to figure out when I can give you your prize and let me know what you want. And if I will go ahead and just end the live, but we can still
Okay.
see each other on the
Okay.
backstage. So let's
Cool.
do that.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk more later.